30 seconds.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Slot Valley Racing. You have another channel, Dan? I think it's Carrera Racing, right? I should put some text here. Let's do that.
What is happening?
Not much. We're live now. You can say
We're live, and I'm late. I'm late for my own live.
it's all good. I
Late for
don't.
your live.
I
Oh
don't
no, my
stress
hair.
out. I don't stress out on lives. Lives are live. We're not. We're just regular people trying to do what broadcast studios do. So.
Absolutely. You guys can't see my hair though. That's the thing. So it's good. Okay. So that's
So
right. I need parchment paper for
a wet palette.
um. I haven't done this.
Okay.
I haven't
You
done this
just
in
need.
years.
So what I use, Joe, is I use a ceramic tile. You see this?
Yeah.
Just a simple tile. You get it for free at Home Depot. Just say I need a tile sample, white tile like this. I've used this since 2005 when I
Oh
first got
man.
into painting. This is the first palette I ever bought, and it's still around. I got 2 of them for free from Home Depot. And I've used them ever since. And they're great because you use acrylic paint on them, and then you just scrape it off, right? When you're done, you
But
just use a scraper, and it will just pop right off. You use a little bit of soap, dishwater soap on it. You just put a little bit of soap, and then you take a scraper, and it just scrapes all the acrylic paint off, and you got a nice new palette again. The only reason a wet
all
palette
these
is good is if
all
you
these
want to
years.
store your paint, right?
My wife, she's the best. Parchment paper.
Hey, John Tucci. So we have John Tucci in the house. We have Mad Dad in the house. We have Carrera Racing, which is the same as Dan, which is South Valley Racing. Yeah.
So
So
Dan,
obviously, this is a very chill live stream. Um,
yeah, and I want to say thank you for filling in the spot. I'm sorry, I'm cheating on you, Pete. You were out of town, and I needed my fix, so I got Raul as my side chick, my side Slotcar guy.
now I'm a side chick. Damn. Damn. This got, this got, uh, I don't know
I
about this.
appreciate
I
you,
think
dude.
I'm leaving now. You hurt my feelings.
Oh no, my two slot friends figured each other out. Oh no, I got caught.
Hey Jennifer, how are you? Thanks for being here. Sue Fast Speedway, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Oh my god. So okay, so that's really neat. I got my parchment paper in um, underneath the wet and my towel. A little. I don't know if that water's gonna seep through now, but okay. But I am today gonna be trying for the first time the contrast from Citadel.
Okay.
So do you?
Did you
I
bring? Did
forgot
you
to
get
look up.
contrast medium as well, or you just got the contrast paints?
I just got the contrast paints. I mean, today I want to attempt my what do you call it? It's an expansion for one of my favorite games, Dead Men Tell No Tales, and this is the Kraken expansion. And got
Let's
this.
see that. Give me 1 second. Let's blow you up a bit
No
here.
worries.
All right, let's see it.
And oh, okay, sorry. And hopefully it's coming in clearer than what's on my screen. But this is like the Kraken. He comes out and he's got these tentacles that come on the board. And
Okay.
I'm trying to do like a purple blue, and I'm trying to get his suction cups a little pink. but contrast paint seems to be the
So
easy
you
way
gotta
out.
so contrast paint is like speed paint,
Hmm.
but I think it's important for you to get contrast medium. The way I use contrast paints is some paints are good straight out of the box, some straight out of the bottle, and some are not.
Okay.
So you have to be careful because some of them will come out real blotchy. Like if you
Okay.
and then some of them come out really nice and smooth. So you really gotta uh, like really gotta test them on a piece that maybe you don't. Maybe you have a test piece and you do a little bit of testing on that piece, different areas first before you actually apply
Yeah.
it to the model you want.
Oh, that was smart. I do have like a Dungeons and Dragons little um, tree goblin kind of guy that I bought just for that, and he's got like paint features all over him just because he's my test guy. But I don't have him with me
Yeah,
because I just kind of slapped all my paints together. I went yesterday. I bought two more colors because I wanted the. Um, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like the bottom part is actually like the bottom of the ship, which is all the
okay.
planks. So I figured I looked online to what kind of colors, and there's like this really deep brown, which is nice, and the
Yeah,
ship is kind of black in itself. So um, I don't know. I mean, I'm good to just like test it. This is an expansion of a game that I play often enough, but I'm not really, you know, like like Dave was saying. What the good thing about painting is, you just throw some alcohol on it, clean it up, and just start over if you really mess up. So I'm ready to make mistakes. So
yeah. Joe seems.
with your guidance, of course.
Yeah. Thought Valley says you're really out of focus, but I think we're just having trouble with the stream. Um, I have
Yeah,
no.
guys, this morning we tried three different cameras on my cell phone, and I'm plugged in direct to the internet. We got a really good connection. I don't know why. Maybe it's the light. Hold on, let's try something. Maybe my light here is too harsh.
He's gone
Yeah,
dark.
maybe it's interfering. We're going dark, guys. We're going dark.
Going dark. Hey
Let's
Rob,
see if
oh yeah.
this will. No, that's still
Right.
grainy.
Yeah, there's something. I don't know what it is. What's wrong with my stream size? Everything. Options, stream size. Yeah.
Yeah, reset my computer a bunch of times. Updated Windows,
Yeah, it's weird.
hardwired in. I'm not using.
When you come back, it's clear for a bit and then it goes blurry for a bit. I don't know why. Um, but anyway,
Sorry,
let's
guys.
continue. We're here just to. We're just trying to, shoot the breeze, as it were, huh? And just talk things through. You wanted to ask me some question about painting. We can talk about painting.
Well, okay, yeah. Um, well, before we get into that, what have you been up to this week?
What have I been up to? So it's been a pretty busy week with work. But other than that, on the Slotcar side of things, um, I've mostly been airbrushing, to be honest. Um, yeah, it's just not airbrushing models or anything, just airbrushing in general. I'm learning how to airbrush art, so I've been retraining my hands. It's really weird because actually you find out when you start to do artistic airbrushing how wrong your airbrushing skills are. So I have to retrain my whole like my hands to actually like learn how to use the airbrush all over again. It's pretty humbling experience, but it's fun. You're coming out really clear now. Do you know that?
Yeah, I see that. I think
Yeah,
maybe the internet just needed time to catch up.
yeah.
Oh, I already have a coffee, babe. What? Posted that you needed more. I needed more coffee. Yeah, no, yeah. No, what I need, babe, is water.
This guy.
I don't know. So you guys, my wife, she listens to you guys. She's watching the stream. Someone said I needed coffee. She took it literally like, oh, he needs more coffee. I'm like,
Okay, let's see that base again. Let's see that
okay,
because now you're clear. Let's have a
okay.
look. You can point it up right next to the camera.
Which camera is this? This one. That's
Yeah.
mirrored. Yeah, there you
So
go.
there you go. So
So
that's the piece you want to paint.
yeah, this is well, this is my project piece. Is it
Yeah.
left or right? The camera was mirrored. It's weird. So
You can mirror it back if you want. It's not a big deal. Give
yeah,
me one second.
and then it's got these like I want to the teeth here. Um, I want to do. I have like skeleton bone, and I don't. So that's okay. Cool. Thanks.
There you go.
And now we got all blurry again.
It will take time
Um,
to adjust.
yeah. So I don't know if you guys can see it. So the teeth and the detail um, are really nice in this model. So my questions. I mean, you were getting into. You were talking about your airbrushing there. Sorry, but I just want to know like do you paint out from in? One of my buddies who was a painter was telling me you always paint out to in,
So
or is it?
contrast to go the other way. You have to go light to dark because contrast what it does is it tints the undercoat. So um oh Jennifer, what do I paint? Minis or track or other. I paint so the for the longest time, Jennifer, I was a war game painter. So I painted over 10,000 models, little mini figurines. I don't have any examples down here, but that's what I used to do. So I've been painting for a very very long time. Why are you doing that?
Okay, you're telling me I'm not prepared. You have nothing to show off your skills. I love your painting skills. And did you look up Battle Masters, by the way?
Yeah, dude, you sent me the
Yeah,
thing
there you go. That's your next project. You know that. Eh? I'm bringing that to you.
for real.
I'm commissioning you to do.
um,
Yeah. Okay, so what do you think I should? So I should start with? Should I start with the little suction cups and work my way out, or do I start with the back and work my way in? That's what I mean.
so the first thing that okay, so let's just take this piece right here, right? So
Hmm.
this is an air racing kit. This is one of their Marshall posts. So
Hmm.
before I even touch paint, I always think about what I want to paint this as. Like, what is the scheme? So do you have a
Hmm.
scheme in mind? And then you have to explain that. Like, you really got to take a look at this and say, okay, what do I want? Like for myself, if I look at this, I'm like, well, if you notice, this is a zenithal because if I hold it underneath, you'll see it's all dark gray,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then if I hold it to the top, it's all white. So, and I use, I don't know, I know lots of people complain about spray painting, but so I got these new spray paints. They are water based. This are mirrored. Give me 1 second. Let me switch this over. Let me unmirror this. Ooh, that's not good. Adjustments. There you go. Yeah, that's
Technology.
welcome to the live streaming. But anyway, so this is a water-based spray paint, cover sol, and you can spray indoors with
Okay.
this. So that's what I do. Is just spray indoors. It's got no odor. It's completely like safe. Um, and it's great. Like I use that, and then I use two colors, dark gray, light gray, and that's how I do zenithal on these things. And the main thing about spray paint, especially models and stuff, you have to make sure that the spray is thin so that it doesn't hide detail. So I don't know if you can see this. Let me just zoom into that. I don't know if you can see this, but you can see the lines
Mm.
in that they have not been covered. The
Yeah,
paint
yeah, the
hasn't
wood.
like obscured that at all, and that's what you want from an effective like base coat, which is what you got. So you spray painted yours white, I presume. Or you base coated them white.
Yes, I got a primer. Yeah, I used. Well, I mean, this one's gray, but it's the same. Um, it's the same type. Rust-Oleum's Painter's Touch. gris because we're in France. We're in.
Yeah.
Oh no, here's the English side primer. I use the white version of this, and uh, and that's it. And so how it came out. I mean, it. My biggest mistake was doing it. I mean, because we wanted to do this live stream, so I pushed myself. But it's been -11 outside. My garage is cranked to 25 degrees Celsius
Yeah.
just to get the heat. Jen's yelling at me because she's like, "The house is at 18, but your garage is at 25." I'm like, "I gotta paint. I gotta paint." Like priorities, right?
Yeah, but yeah, so I mean I just use this indoors, and then because you're indoors it's room temperature, everything works fine. The spray
Yeah.
comes out fine, and it's got no odor. So it has zero odor. It's water based, so it's perfect. Um, so yeah, that's what I use. So it's zenithal highlight, and then I always take a look at the model and decide what I want to do with it. So my theme for most of my buildings on my track will be red and black. Obviously, Conquest colors, red and black.
Okay.
So when I look at this, I'm like, you know, what am I gonna do with it? So I take a look at this and I say, okay, well, I want the the actual main panels of this whole Marshall's post to be red, and then obviously I want to do the logo up in the yellow and black, which is the way the Dunlop is.
Mhm.
And then I want to do metallics down here, so make it more. I could do this as wood, but I prefer to do more metals. So I'll probably do like all the bars in metallics, and that's about it. Like I'm not really gonna spend too much time. And then with the zenithal, you automatically get your shading. So if you notice, like it's got a little kind of like gradient to it.
Mhm.
And then with contrast paints, the good thing about them, they're thin enough that when they go over this, they will actually emphasize that grade. So that's the beauty about contrast paints, right? Or any thin paint
So
that goes onto a model.
so basically, Zenithal um, technique is spraying from the top.
Yeah, so zenithal is pretty simple. So the main thing that I do for buildings is very easy. I turn the building upside down. Let's just say I'm spraying top down, right? Let's say I'm
Hmm.
gonna spray top down. So I'll turn the building upside down like this, and I'll spray my dark gray directly down, right? So that will give me all my shade, and then I turn it back up, and then I'll come in at a 45-degree angle with my gray, and then just spray all around with my light gray, with my white.
The light gray, yeah, okay,
Yeah, and that
okay,
gives me a zenithal. It automatically shades
okay.
the model.
Because
So
you're trying to represent a lighting effect, right? So when the
yeah.
colors hit, they have different bases, so they will react different to the bases, giving you an automatic
Well, you
shading.
want depth to your color, right? You want because we're 3D and the object that you're painting is 3D, right? So it's
Hmm.
gonna have highlights and it's gonna have shadows. So we're trying to get the highlights and shadows to come out automatically with the zenithal. So we call it value sketching. So you're sketching in what your darks and lights will be by doing it this way,
Okay.
right?
Well, I think I managed to get some Zenithal by accident because I guess it wasn't hot enough. So this is actually two coats now that the camera seems to be a little bit more. But I think the light. I'm sorry about that, guys. Um, there's some gray in there, and
Yeah.
yeah, there's some gray in there by accident because I don't think the paint stuck 100% just because of how cold it was in my basement. It took a while to heat up, and I can tell because the paint is a little sticky, so it's not a nice finish. But I mean, I'm gonna work with what I got, and I really like those spikes coming out of there. Oh, but whatever, it's too early in the morning for me. But that's it. So that being said, um, you were talking about the. So are you gonna paint the Dunlop first? Like, do you paint the details first and then go backwards, or do? That's
Well,
what I'm just trying to figure out. Like, how do I attack this? Should I just do the back, then the suction cups, and then do his belly type
so
of deal?
when it comes to painting models and when you're doing model painting, you go dark to light. So what's your darkest color that you put it? Sorry, you go light to dark with contrast.
Okay, well, this is my color scheme, and I went with the most like radiant. So I want him to be. Actually, where's my purple? Is it this? Yeah. So I want him to be purple. Sorry, I'm like staring at it and I can't see it. So I want his outer skin to be purple, which
Okay.
is Magos purple, and then I want his inner belly to be. I was thinking about a blue,
Hey, look,
but
yo, Pete's here.
hey, Pete, from afar. Oh, you got me.
Yeah,
Um,
he caught you cheating.
yeah.
Yeah.
So either these three, right? Kind
Okay.
of a color scheme, like dark purple to blue to like um this is called athematic blue, which is kind of weird, but I kind of like this lighter color. Whatever's gonna mix well with the no, not dragonfire. Is it dragonfire? Is that what I bought? Yeah, this kind of like pinkish doomfire magenta, right? So I just want a triple color type of deal.
Yeah.
And then if I have to, I would dry brush some actual like light pink on it or something, just for the. I wish I should have taken a picture. I've seen it online. It's really nice. But basically, his skin I want him purple. His under paw, claw, whatever, kind of bluish green, and then the pink. I mean, I don't
Okay.
know. What do you think? Should I do purple, blue, pink, or purple, teal, pink?
You know what? Let me. What are the names of the colors you got there, contrast wise?
Magos purple.
See, we didn't plan this out properly. Otherwise, I would have
No,
done
we do not.
contrast paint. Okay, so what do you have? Magos purple.
Yeah, and athematic blue,
Okay.
doomfire magenta. Like you just what are these names? Come on. And
Yeah.
but the contrast the athematic blue is in a competition with Talazar blue.
Okay.
So I don't know. Like I like them all. I mean, I'm definitely going to use the blue for maybe some extra
Okay.
highlights on this
Are
guy.
these are the only colors you have?
No, I got plenty more colors, but as far
No,
as
no. But
contrast,
which, like, for the color palette that you want to do this morning? What else do you have? Anything? This is the color
oh
palette,
well, no, the only other thing I want to is the Sigor brown for the
right?
base.
Brown.
But bases you do last, right? That's what you do.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. So let me go pick up these paints. I'll bring my own tentacle and we'll paint together.
I'm painting today. I'm gonna make a mistake. I
Give me
can't. No,
one
you can't.
second.
You can't out paint me. It's not gonna happen.
Why?
No, no, no. First, you can see
So I'm
mine.
gonna switch you guys to the big screen so you're with Joe while I go grab my stuff because Joe didn't tell me we are gonna do this. So Joe, you hold the fort down. I'll be back.
I didn't tell you we're gonna do this. I told you let's just paint some minis together and have a talk. And you're like, yeah, let's do an episode. Oh my goodness, I can't see any of the comments, guys. So apologies for that. And I, okay, I'm gonna wet my brush. I guess that's what you do first. Put it on the parchment, and I guess I'll start with the outside. So purple it is. Wow, this is it's so exciting. Well, let's see here. So it's contrast paint. Pop it open, fresh for the first time. I like Citadel because they give you this little neat little lip here that actually allows you to grab the paint, so you don't have to dip your whole brush and try to guess into the bottle. So I'm just gonna wet this guy a little bit, wet my brush, and then just take off a little bit because it starts slow because I have no idea what I'm doing. And yeah, here we go. Look at me, I'm painting. That's actually looking pretty nice. Oh, there's another color, Raul. I forgot. Yeah, for the teeth, I'm doing a bone um, skeleton something. Skeleton horde for the teeth. So this is going on a lot, which I think I'm going to make the spikes that color. I'm adding too much work for myself. This is not how I wanted to do it. I don't know. It's too bright, this light. Apologies. What have you guys been up to? Even though I can't really see what's going on. I know Dan's got some really good news. I don't know. I don't know if you guys can see that. You can't. I'm getting whitewashed by these heavy lights. Apologies, guys. So I figured I'd start doing this because Raul and I kind of have this interest for painting minis as a side hobby. But hold on, I also I also been making trees, and I got these off Amazon. It's an assortment of trees, and HO scale seems to work as long as you check that at least some of the trees are at least 4 inches. I don't like really tall trees. I like to see my track all the way around. And what I kind of figured out was that if you buy these pads, right, because I want to make trees that move around, nothing permanent at the moment. So if you buy these pads, comes in a pack for the for your furniture. The felt pads you put underneath. If I take acrylic paint with a sponge, like dollar store paint, right, 2 different shades, I put this on the sponge. I cut. I either use the circles as is, or I cut out a shape, whatever fits the track and whatnot. And this has a nice consistency of grass. And you paint it whatever color you want. And I put the paint on the brush and I just brush it in. And what it does is it lifts up all the hairs on the felt, so it gives it like a 3D texture, which is nice. And then I just super glue the trees. I cut a little hole with like an X-Acto, or this is my trusty hunting knife, which came with the house, and it's super sharp. So I love using it for crafts. And that's it really. I should show you a finished product, which is downstairs, but I can't leave you because Raul's not here, and that would just be rude. And that's it. And I cut it out. I paint that green. I super glue the trees on top, and just be creative. And 1, 2, 3 trees, and then the smaller trees, I make little bushes out of them, and you can go real ham on this. And what I like about them is that I can move the trees around my track and decide, and I just want to populate as much as I can, and that way when I do eventually move my track around, I can move the trees around instead of having them permanent until I decide. I'm not retired yet. It's 42, so I got time. And that's it. That's really what I do. It's nothing crazy. It's quick and dirty for sure. And then these long guys, I'll paint them green and I'll just put bushes on them, like the long guys. And then I have like little hedges that I can move around. And I bought the foliage from Woodland Scenics. I bought the tree foliage, the one that looks like moss, and then I found some other foliage that is more replicant of the trees. It's more um, I don't know, more realistic. But yeah, it works. I mean, you can trim them, you can cut them, and make shapes and whatever. Go nuts, make an arc if you wanted. And that's it. I'm no professional here. This is just me trying to be as quick and lazy as possible. So that's what I use. I should have brought up an example. Um, what else can I show you? This is the first time in my workshop. First time in my workshop. I'm pretty impressed with myself. A lot of nuts and bolts here that I never use. What did I want to show? There was something I said. Oh yeah, talk about that for a minute. Oh yeah, my mistakes. I bought this dry floral foam bricks because I thought I could cut this out and make mountains out of it and put trees in it. This thing, horrible. This is not a good idea. Not a good idea. So you guys probably know this. I'm sorry, but yeah, that was a waste of $12. But okay.
So here, I got my own 3D printed tentacle.
Oh, sick.
So I'm gonna spray it up because it's not primed. So it'll take me like 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
No, you're leaving me again.
And then we shall get painting. I mean, you should have told me about this. But anyway, Jen wanted to see some of my models. Here's a big boy.
Whoa.
This is my dragon. There you go. Cause I love dragons.
Dude, that's did you airbrush that?
Airbrush and paint.
What do you prefer?
Both. I use both.
Yeah.
So there you go. Let's see.
What what
Ooh.
criteria do you need to be like, oh, I need to
And then
airbrush this?
this is like a little guy.
Dude, that detail's sick, bro.
Yeah. So this is all hand painted stuff. I sold my. I used to have over 2,000 models or whatever, 10,000 models, but I sold all my collection about 2 years ago when I left wargaming and I came into the Slotcar hobby. Although, so yeah, I have a lot of hobbies, but and then I
So
get to really small miniatures. So, I don't know if you guys know Game of Thrones stuff and stuff.
so Davos.
So if you like Game of Thrones, like I have whole armies of Game of Thrones painted up. So
I got the
yeah,
card game of Game of Thrones. I never played it. If
oh yeah,
anyone's interested, I'll give that away.
yeah. So let's see who's in the chat. Let's see.
Yeah, dude, I can't see the questions. I was rambling on about.
Well, you could just open up a YouTube window and mute
Right
the.
now, the stream is good. I'm not touching nothing on the computer. The stream is good. It finally caught
All right,
up.
let's go through some of this thing. So let's see. So Daniel Thomas says, "Hey, Roland Joe, it's the internet. I had no chat, so that's fine." Jennifer. So yeah, Jennifer, I used to have a lot. Now I don't have that many, but I still have my Game of Thrones stuff. But it's all like hidden. Oh, I have a lot of Necron stuff. I guess I can show off my Necron models. Um, yeah. So Joe, you're on this week on Dan's stream.
Yes,
That'll be cool.
tomorrow night. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
flattered.
that's good.
Flattered. I
Uh,
just did an interview with Dave from Slotcar, another Beyond the Slot. So I'm gonna try to edit that as fast as I can, get that out to you guys. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. I'm really glad you're gonna get to meet him.
yeah. So Jennifer says, anyone in the chat paint as well? That's a good question. So if you paint, let us know. Um, and yeah, showcase some of your stuff. See what happens. And then we have more likely.
Did you hear the extra color that I have that I didn't tell you about?
Gorthor Brown.
No, the skeleton horde.
Okay, that's just a brown. Is that for your
Yeah,
base?
I'm. No, it's gonna be for the teeth
Yeah, that's fine.
because I saw how the skeletons look. It's like a yellowy,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
almost looks like tar, like
Yeah.
tartar. Like I'm just
So 66 Slaughter says, "Good day, guys. My eyes aren't good enough to paint figures these days, but luckily the missus and the lad both paint miniatures for competitions, etc.
oh
Just got
wow.
to convince them into painting some slot people. There you go.
I can never get the eyes. The eyes like the black dots. Mine just look funny.
That's because you're trying to dot them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like
So the thinner the paint, the better it is. And I know it's counterintuitive, but you want to use thin paint and you want to paint it in progression. Most
okay.
people try and take a big black, a strong black and dot the eyes, and they always mess it up. But the key is the thinner the paint. Like actually for eyes, I use inks. I don't even use like paint itself because with an ink it's strong enough, and I can get a nice, uh, uh, you know, a nice finish. Okay,
Okay, so
so
I think I messed this up enough.
let me see.
Um,
What have you done?
there's too many. There's too much. I don't know if I should add another coat or here. You know what? Let me block the light a bit. Yeah. Come on.
Maybe cover your eyes. Sometimes the camera will try to focus on the person, not.
Oh,
No,
no. Eh?
I don't know.
Come on.
Um,
Anyways, it's a little blotchy, but I don't know. This is the first time using contrast, so I
yeah.
don't know
So
how
normally
much.
we do two coats. And the reason I asked you about contrast medium,
I didn't even
so
know,
this
man.
is contrast
Mm,
medium, right? Like it's specifically built for contrast paints. Is because sometimes, like I said to you, some paint is the pigmentation is not is kind of blotchy. And the thing is, if you mix it with water to get it smoothened out, it kind of does it kind of breaks the surface tension of contrast paint. So this contrast medium.
okay.
Well, what paint did you use for that? What's the color that you used there?
Magos purple.
Magos purple. I do not have Magos purple.
Ah, bro, you're not cool like me. What can I
I
tell you?
know, I'm totally uncool, but I do have speed paints, and
Any-
so let's see, we can try and find one. What's up, Barney? Nice to see you. See if I got a purple in here that we can use. I use a pink, familiar pink.
Familiar pink.
Yeah. So you're trying to do the outside in the purple and then
Purple.
what the inside in the blues.
Yeah, I haven't decided yet what's gonna look cooler, the darker blue or like this magenta, um, athematic blue.
Okay.
It's an ocean theme, right? Because I mean, I know for the head, for his head, he's got these two little suction cup thingies here. Inside of that, and my biggest fear is obviously I need black for the eyes, but my biggest fear is how am I going to paint this mouth? Like he's got so much detail in the.
The mouth's easy. It's not that
Oh
difficult.
yeah, I
Yeah.
got to
So
get the red on the inside and then the teeth one by one,
no, you
and not.
do no. You just contrast paint the teeth down. So you have skeleton horde, correct?
Yes, I do.
So I'd coat the everything with skeleton horde. Do you have a white? Do you have a white paint by itself?
No, I got Ulthen Gray, which is
Yeah, that's
probably
fine.
yeah,
You have a gray, a light gray, a very light gray.
yeah. Well, that's my lightest gray that I got right now. I mean, if you recommend something, I can go get it. I mean, it's fine.
I like. I think contrast itself paint has its own base coat. I think Citadel sells its own base coats for contrast paint.
And now it got too complicated because I love contrast because I love that the fact that you could just you know
Yeah, so
glob
I'll
down.
teach you with the Ultron gray. It's not a problem. Give me one second. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go spray this. You just should have told me about these things. I
Well,
would
this
have
is a
been ready.
competition. I don't want you to beat me live on TV on your
It's
painting
not.
skills.
I didn't know we were having competition. I'm not here to compete. It's too early in the morning. I don't paint in the morning. I paint late at night. That's when I paint. Um, but by the way, I got a brand new paint set. If you guys want to see it,
Yeah, show me what
yeah.
you got, bro.
Ugh.
So I know that paint.
You get
Um,
serious. This is what a paint set looks like. Let's just let's switch to a different camera. Let's see. Does it even cover this? Oh, it's too big. It's too big.
is that Army Painter? That's Army Painter, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Army Painter. Let's go here. Let's zoom out here.
And what did that set you back? That's not. I was looking at the small kits, bro. You got like all the shades.
Yeah, so I bought the complete system. This is a brand new system that just came out for painting. This is the Army Painter. It's the Fanatic range. So this is the brand new paint set that just came out. And the cool thing about this is when you get into painting, there's things called layering and shading. And the way these paints are set up is they come already pre-configured for shade.
That's pretty
So,
cool.
like you got your light to the very dark, So if you look here, it's got like 6 colors that make up this shade. It's from the very light to the very dark. This being the very darkest, this being the very lightest, and they all belong to the same color shade. So it makes it easy for you to shade up or shade down. Yeah. So this is the complete set. It is pretty pricey, but I wanted to get it because this new paint formulation is mica, so it's very very smooth. It goes on really smooth. It covers really well. But yeah, so I just got into this new paint system, so I'm learning how to use these moving forward. But yeah, just thought I'd share that.
I'm gonna go show you my proudest. I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna get to those trees. I was talking about my trees, so I just want to show what the final result is. And I'm gonna get my most the thing I painted a while back that I'm most proud of. Very very basic, but I thought it came out good. I'm worried that I'm gonna look at it and I'm gonna cringe. I remember painting Zombicide first.
Paint and sip nights are the only painting I do. That's right. Let's see. All right. Well,
So okay, so this is my first frustration here. Okay, this is where I get like overwhelmed.
what?
I'm painting this. Okay, fine. Putting my layers, getting the thing. I know it's gonna dry up. I know paint will shrink, so don't worry about too much. Paint will keep that in mind when you're painting. I know like some of those are some of the basics. So if it's too thin, it's gonna be even thinner, and so don't be afraid of having darker spots. But I got the inside tentacles here, and the suction cups come all the way in. How am I? It's like I got to do one color all in here because I don't know how patient I am to do. Sorry, all the inside here, the intricacies of the tentacles here, and then the yeah, sure, and then like these tentacles here are a lot easier to paint because I can see them. I'll put it sideways so but
Yeah.
the ones on top, it's so clumped together.
But
How do you get that?
contrast will do that for you automatic.
But
So
with one,
you
but
you
with one
understand
color.
you understand what contrast does, right?
Yeah,
Contrast is an automatic highlight and shade right away. So when it dries, it will automatically pull into the recesses to create shade, and it will highlight the top by pulling the paint away from the top. So it automatically gives you highlights.
so so then I think I made a mistake by buying the contrast pink for the outside um, suction, the suction cup thingies. I think I should buy a solid paint and dry brush that on. No, or will the because I'm worried it'll be too
Well,
liquid and then they're gonna bleed into each other.
yeah, you have to wait for it to dry.
No,
You
no,
can't just apply it one on top of the other. You're layering at that point then, and you're wet blending.
no. I'm not there yet. I don't even know what that word means.
Yeah.
Scary.
So, um, yeah, I can paint too. I just gotta spray this out because it's too dark. If I paint on this, it's not gonna show up at all, unless I use regular paint. But I want to use contrast paint. So, if you give me
So
like 2 seconds, I'll be back. I spray this up and come back.
wait. You talk. Let me go get my stuff
Okay.
so I can talk about stuff.
I talk. What do we want to talk about? Let's talk about cars, I guess. We are a Slotcar channel. So, anybody get new cars? I got 3 cars actually. Uh, yeah, surprise, surprise. They are Revo slots and BRMs. Actually, I got some pretty unique cars. Let's just have a look here. I saw this on DNA's channel the other day, and I wanted to pick one up. So this is the Marcos that I got in. So I've always wanted this car. Probably never drive it. I just wanted it for my collection. But it came with the spoiler kind of broken off, but that's an easy fix, so I'll fix that. But yeah, I got the Marcos in. Hey, what's up, Nico? Yeah, so here you go. I got the Marcos. It's the one I wanted, the multicolored one. I gotta glue the spoiler back. Other than that, it came in perfect. So I got this car in. Yeah. I know Dave Kennedy says if you if you don't know how to tune the system, then don't get it. But I'm a collector, so I wanted to collect the car, so I got the car. Whether we'll ever see the track, I don't know. But anyway, it's here. The other thing that I got was got two 124 scale BRMs. So this is an original one. This is a really old, the original BRMs, the way they used to come, and I really like this. They come as kits, so this was pretty interesting. Still comes in a styrofoam package, as you can tell, and this is the old BRM box, Nico, which you would probably know. So yeah, it comes. I love this packaging. I mean, if Revo slots came like this, I have no problems with that. It comes as a complete kit, painted body, full detailed painted figures, dashes. Yeah, I think this is so cool. So yeah, I picked one of these up. I'm gonna have some fun putting this together. So yeah, I got one of these guys, and you can see that they sell them in all these different liveries. So all this came from 132 Slotcars. I'm really excited. And look, there's instructions too. So pretty cool. And then I have already the black edition of the Porsche 911 GT1. I'm slowly becoming a big Porsche 911 GT1 collector, I think, because I seem to have a lot of them. And I really like the shape of this car. And in 124, that just looks sick. So I picked up the BRM version of it as well. This is the second one in my collection because I have the black edition, and then I just picked up this edition. This is number 304 out of 350. I really like the striking livery on this, so picked up this Porsche 124 scale.
I want to, man. That's my issue, right? Like, so I'm talking with Dave about being a collector and whatnot, and what defines being a collector. And the 124s, I think those would be the cars I would buy to collect and actually just be shelf queens. And
Yeah,
versus models, like I have my Ferrari models and whatever, and the various scales, and my brother has a nice showcase for them, like a display case for all the cars. But I like the fact that the 124s, like you can actually use them, put them on the track, see how they look around the track, perfect, and then you put them away, right? Like that's
yeah.
so.
I'm not gonna talk about brands or cars or anything because I just feel like
No, I'm just talking about scale.
this.
I'm just talking about scale.
Yeah, scale is fine. Like 124s are more detailed, obviously, right? If you're a collector and you like diecast, especially, like I have a bunch of like diecast models up here that are super detailed, right? Like, I don't know. Would you buy a slot car if you're a collector, or just buy a diecast model? I mean, you can't compete with these guys, right?
Hmm.
You can't compete against the diecast like this guy
No,
right here. Like it's
wow.
so detailed. When I shot this with my cameras, it looked like a real car. When you put, and I had a mini camera going through this car, and I pulled it out, and I shot it on tarmac, and it looked like the real car. People actually thought I was shooting a real car because this model has so much detail, right? Even the undercarriage, everything on this car is amazing. And then, so I don't know, when I guess you can say you're a slot car collector and collect the 124s, but to me, a collector is anybody that has a love for whatever the art form is. To me, you collect art, right? So whether it's shoes or whether it's slot cars or whether it's cars, die casts or whatever, it's art. So you're picking up because the detail level, the exquisiteness of the person that actually took time and effort to put that model together is what you're picking up, right? I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And this
So
is and this is what why I my hats off to the guys who can really build scenery and make stuff look really I mean realistic, really realistic, and to that point, right? Like I just
yeah,
want toy looking scenery on my stuff, and I'm attempting to make some mountains and whatever, but I'm never going to be, until I spend the time, until my track is, for me 100% done, ready to dive into that into more detail. So guys like Massimo and guys, Shane from Hughes Garage, they're taking the time, they're building it. They have the time. I don't like. I got to call you and find some time in between my schedules to paint minis of a game that I hardly play, right? But it's one of my favorite games. So
yeah.
it's one of those things, right? It's how much time you can put into it, and you're just going to get better over time if you just repeat, repeat, repeat. So my hats off to you guys who already have that skill set. People like you, Raul. People like you.
Me, no, 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 no.
You're a good
You
painter,
know,
bro.
it's so funny because for a long time I collected cars, including Reva slots and everything else. And I just put them on my shelves because I very few. I think I removed the Reva slot Viper. I got it tuned for Ernie's track with a lot of help from Ernie and them. So I never really took serious attention to Reva slot or slotted or like I mean slotted I got into in 2008 when I was actually racing. So I actually know that system really well, and slotted kind of system kind of translates to scale autos, translates to I get MR Slotcar and all these other brands because most of them use slotted components.
Okay.
But when it came to Reba slot, until recently, I never took out my Reba slot and tried to run them on my track. And when I started doing it, that's when the frustration started to come out, right? Like cars weren't running or whatever. And I was listening to Dave Kennedy yesterday, and he's like, "Oh, you have no business buying a Reba slot if you don't understand the system." And I was like, "Yeah, maybe that's true." And that's why now I'm like, this is probably the last Reba slot I buy for a while, until I figure out whether I really want to get into the system, right?
Hmm.
And I think that's very important to understand too. So I don't know. It's
A little harsh. What you think?
oh, he spoke his truth. I don't know. I come from a variety of different hobbies, so I don't know how the stock car world handles things, but from the RC world, there's two different kind of kit levels you buy, right? When I race for Tamiya, you got the RTR kits that came ready to run, and they look like
Okay.
real cars and they're ready to go. And then you buy the put together kits, and when you get more advanced, you either buy a kit that Tamiya sells that you buy as a kit and you put it together with instructions, or you get it really super advanced and you buy from chassis up. You buy the chassis and you build your whole car all the way up, right? That's how RC level works, right?
Okay.
But at least it's clear on the box and the packaging that says, yeah, this car is a kit. This car is ready to run. This car needs tuning. This car needs to be set up. Like, make it clear. That's all I'm saying, right? Don't. That's what I want. That's what I want. If I'm buying a Revo slot and you say it needs to be tuned, then say it on the packaging. This car needs to be tuned, right? You pick up anything. I race. I don't know if you guys know this, but I race VR drones, right? Virtual
Okay.
reality
That's
drones, and you can buy
awesome.
them from a basic model kit to a really advanced where you put it together yourself. But it says very clearly in the packaging, this kit needs to be assembled. This kit needs to be, this kit needs goggles, and this kit needs this. I just want clarity. That's all. I think that's all that anyone wants. Whether you choose to tune it or not, that's up to you once you bought it. But that's my only gripe right now. It's like and I guess like this hobby level is very elitist. Is a very elite. So you enter and you figure things out by yourself. I think, and that's been the challenge. Um, and I think That's the main frustration from a newbie perspective, and I still call myself a newbie, even though I've collected over 500 cars. I'm only 2 years in this hobby, so I don't know all the ins and outs. I don't know all the mechanics. I don't race on a regular basis. If you raced on a regular basis, you'll be more in tune because you'll be sharing knowledge with the people around you, right? Like it's like wargaming. If you went to Games Workshop as a brand new beginner and you walked in, somebody holds your hand and walks you through how to paint a model. Someone holds your hand and walks you through how to assemble a model. Someone, right? You go there and you get trained. But when we are slot car hobbyists with our tracks at home and we pick up a car and bring it home, we don't have that luxury, correct? You have to figure these things out. So you go to YouTube, but then on YouTube there's a broad bandwidth of people that are telling you things about how to tune a car, and every one of them is different, and every one of them is non-standardized, and that's when the frustration kicks in, right? Which one do you follow? Who do you listen to? Where do you go? And then yeah, I think that's when the frustration level kicks in, you know.
Okay.
And that's why you take a step back. And I understand where everyone comes from. I understand what Dave Kennedy is saying. The hobbyist level is different from a toy brand level, but then be clear on the packaging, right? That's all I'm saying, right? Just put on the packaging, hobby grade, some tuning required. If I need that, then you kind of alleviate all this nonsense, right? Just call it
Yeah,
what it is.
but even then, the toy level, I don't know. I get a little that kind of I don't want to say annoys me, but it kind of like it pinches a little the toy level versus the thing. Yeah, we all know you got a Carrera slot, you buy yourself a toy. It's Carrera toys. You bought yourself a toy. We
Well,
know this.
they're all toys.
You know,
That
they're all
yeah, look
toys.
at them.
We're all big boys with cool toys, and
So
it's just what it is.
yeah,
And so, I mean, you're going to call it a hobbyist unless you're buying model trains, which has been around since the caveman days, I'm sure. Slot cars, has been around for a long time, and rebuying the slot car is always for nostalgia. And if you're getting into it, or if you're younger or you're older, whatever, we've all got that wave of when we were and when we all had that toy as a kid because that's just what it was, right? And so to say like, oh, if you're a true hobbyist, meaning what? Meaning that you build your cars. So someone who builds their car versus me, who I prefer Carrera fanboy and plug and play and run, and maybe I mess around with the magnets a bit and change the tires. I'm not a true hobbyist.
no,
I mean,
and
I build
but
trees,
the
bro.
problem
I
is
build
like,
trees. I'm not a hobbyist. Like, I'm not trying to say like, oh, I am just like you. I'm my hat's off to guys who can make detail, look really good. And you're gonna see in a minute. And I'm gonna show you exactly what not to do and fix on my mistakes. But I don't know. That's kind of. I think everybody who's watching the stream, who's interested in slot cars and whatnot. I know we're doing something different about painting, but we're all hobbyists in this, and it's just a matter
yeah,
of how invested you are. That's all. Sorry, that pinched me. That
no,
pinched
it
me.
does, it does. It hurts. Like when I listened to Dave, I just listened to him this morning actually while I was waiting for you,
Okay.
and he was like, he talked. If you can't set gear mesh, you shouldn't be buying these cars. You can't. If you don't understand the reverse system, you shouldn't buy these cars. Like then I was like, okay, cool. Like I stopped buying them. Then it's simple as that. Like you at the end of the day, you can make the decision as a consumer, right? As to what you want to support, what you don't want to support. If the brand is so elite that you need to understand the system, then fine. Where's the communication? I
If
mean,
he
we
act-
went to we went to Riverstart site the other night. There's no communication anywhere. Where's the communication? Where's the instructions? Where's the things to put together? Like, come up with the basics. That's all I'm asking you. And they said people said if if a manufacturer has to check that the car runs before it leaves, then it become really expensive. But that's not true because when you look at RCs, where there's a small RC car which has multiple components, multiple parts, and it's cheaper than a stock car, it works, right? It may not run perfect, but it works. So there
okay,
you
so
go.
I want to quote
Anyway,
something, and it kills me because I had this conversation with Dave from Slotar, and I don't want to ruin the interview. But he brought up a really good point, and he said, I believe we were talking about Slotted and Revo, and just to go on your point, what you just said, I don't think they can, and it made sense with to me. It made sense to what he was saying because those companies don't know what kind of track you're going to be running on. Every track is a little different. So what track, unless they decide, hey, listen, we've tuned to this track, Polycar, whatever, Carrera, Scalextric, because we've seen the majority of our clients are in England, so we're going to tune these cars to Scalextric. You might have to do another adjustment if you're running Carrera, if you're running whatever. Do
Yeah,
they have to do that? No,
I don't
but
know.
I think that's their mentality, right? They don't know what track you have, so they're like, "Look, we're gonna build the thing, but you've got to tune it because we don't know what track you have." And I thought that was some good insight. I don't know if that makes sense, but
I guess so.
and these
I
are not my words. These are something I discussed with Dave. I'm
No,
not
I
taking
mean,
credit for it.
like I said, we there's no right or wrong answer here. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer.
Agreed.
I just think what it is when Ernie sold me my first Revo slot, he didn't tell me, "Oh, this is an advanced level system. This is," he said, "This is a really cool car. You should get it for your collection, right?" And I looked at it. I was like, "This is a really cool model. Like the from a modeling perspective, like it's like Carrera. You look at them and you're like, oh, you're sold, right? You see them in their beautiful crystal cases, and what do? You like pick them up and buy them, right?
Yeah.
But you don't know what you're getting as a consumer. It's the responsibility of the manufacturer, and it's the responsibility of anybody that's in the it was selling you that to explain that to you. I think maybe, right?
No,
Is
but
if I walked into a RC shop and I bought a car off the shelf and the guys didn't tell me I needed batteries and stuff, at least the manufacturer says batteries not included, right? He puts it on the case, right?
yeah.
Just just do that then. Put it I think every hobby style slot car should just say, some tuning required. Tuning to your track is required. Just have it on the box. It alleviates all these problems. But anyway,
You know who would make a lot of money?
who?
And I'm curious, and if my wife is watching, she's gonna kill me because I have 1,010 projects. There is no, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but there is no third party slot car maker that is emulating Carrera. I understand they can't 100% because of the licenses, but there's no one saying, well, you know what? People like Carrera cars because they can take a beating. Let's replicate that and sell them as third party. I would buy those cars tomorrow, today, right now, yesterday.
Well, I mean, it's simple as this, right? You can buy a Carrera car and slap a 3D chassis on it and it becomes a more competitive car.
I've yet to see a 3D chassis that has impressed me as much as Carrera's detail
Well,
is.
actually, I was talking to Nico the other day because I'm looking at the Gecko product. I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but it's for Carrera 124s. But it's an actually it's a competitive race chassis that uses the Carrera 124 bodies on top of it. That's really cool.
That's okay. But I'm talking about a company where it's true plug and play, like Carrera cars. I think Carrera cars are the minimum. Put the oil, put the grease, just to be smart
Yeah,
about it. You want
but
them to
then
last.
you
Change the tires, go right, and then you decide whether the car is good or not. Like the X bows are nice and squirrely, so now I might want to do some modifications, add some weight, whatever, and that's it. Like that's there is a market for that level of slot cars, right? Because when I got into it, I was like, well, all these cars pretty much respond the same, right? But no, then you realize, oh, the cars are cool and like they're different. They have different characters. So now that's why I want to collect four of one, right?
Well, like Stock
Um,
Valley says, right? Those cars are all over Amazon, Joe. There's lots of cars out there. There's lots of slot cars. We are just if you go to any Chinese manufacturer, they make slot cars. There's lots of slot car brands out there. We just tend to work with the higher level ones, right? Um, but like any hobby, I'm not saying. All I'm saying is, if you're on the hobby to become more mainstream and you want it to grow, then the manufacturer needs to communicate some of the subtleties and the differences of their product in a more precise manner. That's all I'm saying.
mhm.
And I think that's the reason why you don't get slot cars everywhere. You don't get slot cars in every hobby shop. I go to a hobby shop where I buy all my paints and all my models and everything. They won't touch slot cars because they don't understand it. It's too complicated. They sell RCs there, but they're like, there's nobody who wants a slot car because you have to buy the track, then you have to buy the car, then you have to buy. They don't understand the parts. They don't understand anything. I think that comes down to more communication from the manufacturer level. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but then
And nobody can say to
Carrera
me
and
that,
Scalextric, but Carrera and Scalextric, sorry to cut you off, they wash their hands of it because they're like, no, we're toys, done. You guys want to do third
yeah,
party stuff? You want to
exactly.
learn about a car? That creates the market for us guys to say, hey, listen, I bought this car, and like you said, I tune it like this, I tune it like that, ba ba bi ba bo, and go. And then it's up to the consumer to be like, okay, who do I follow? Who do I like? What works for me? What doesn't? And then then you get your feet wet. The moment you get your feet wet, that you do a little bit of research on any car, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, and that you have to tune anything, um, you've become a hobbyist because you took the time to take the manufacturer and be like, I'm gonna make it a little bit better. And now that could be changing tires, or that can be as far as like, you know what, my Austin Martin, I've mentioned this 100 times. It was so light, it was flying off the track. I had to actually add an extra magnet, and now it runs well. So,
Like I
it just,
said, I think
you know,
it, like, hobby level is comes down to what you're actually doing in the hobby. So if you like, Nico constantly races, so you're going to tracks, you're racing peep races. There's a lot more commercial tracks available. Around me, there isn't any of that. Like, there's one track, and they run at different times, so we don't really race. And when you don't race, you don't tune as much, maybe. Marty does go every other week to race, and he's got a group of racers around him that will help. And when I used to go to Ernie's on a regular basis, there was people like Fabio and Chris that would actually come in and help me tune my car, and I learned a lot from them. But that's the thing, is like, there's people that are racing constantly, that are tinkering and tuning their cars, and those guys will definitely be able to take any car and make it run. And that's the truth of any hobby. It's just like painting.
mm,
Like, you're messing around with contrast paint, but that's just the basic level of painting, right? Like, we're not talking about layering, we're not talking about wet blending, we're not talking about like details. And you know there's so much to painting, right? You can say you're a painter by picking up a paint pot and a brush and putting some paint onto a model. Yeah, you are a painter, but what level are you at? And I think that's where the clarity has to come in. And I'm a beginner. I always say this: I'm a novice Slotcar hobbyist. I don't consider myself anything above that, right? I'm probably more comfortable with Carrera because it's simpler. It's an easier system for me to understand and mess around with. And I love videography and photography, so for me, taking a car and putting it on track as fast as possible and getting shots of it, that's what I like and I enjoy. And the
mhm,
reason that I looked at other brands like Slotits or Riva Slots or Scale Autos and all that is because they either had a livery that I really wanted, or they had a car shape that I really wanted that Carrera does not offer. If Carrera offered me everything, I'd stay in Carrera from start to finish, right? If Carrera starts making LMP cars, I'm there. If Carrera makes 962 Porsches, I'm there, right? And then I don't look at other brands. But the problem is, as a collector, you go to these other brands to fill the gaps in your collection of cars that you want but you can't get from Carrera, right? Bottom line. I mean, I don't know how many 917s I have, but I have 917s from NSR. I have 917s from Slotted. I have 917s from Fly. I have 917s from Carrera itself. They're all different. They all act different, right? That's it.
okay. Sorry, I gotta get the other models. Um, they're all on my freezer.
You're getting paid from YouTube. That makes you a professional. I don't understand that one. Um,
Is that if you're getting paid?
well, yeah. Dan says you are getting paid from YouTube. That makes you a professional. No, but YouTube isn't a slot car. Like, YouTube is YouTube. People are confusing YouTube with the hobby itself. I don't think that's true. YouTube is its own hobby in its own right. I think if you can become a YouTuber doing anything, right? The hobby doesn't make you a YouTuber.
Yeah, yeah. There's, I mean, how many great Slotcar guys are there out there that just don't do videos.
Yeah, amazing. There's a lot of them out there that just don't do videos.
And you've got
Professionals
guys
get
like,
paid. Yeah, but
yeah.
we're not. I don't know. Getting paid by YouTube doesn't mean you're a professional hobbyist. I don't understand that. I mean, we chose a niche when we came into YouTube. We wanted something that we chose as a niche to do and to share about, and that's just happens to be slot cars. I mean,
Well, I
uh,
think I think with maybe what Dan's trying to say, because I kind of get that. I kind of can relate to that a bit. If you've got enough viewership that you're talking about a specific subject that enough people are interested in listening to you, and YouTube recognizes that as something to be like, okay, thank you for doing this because you're bringing us, whatever it is you're doing. Clearly, you know what you're talking about, whatever it could be, whether it's comedy or, like you said, collecting shoes. Um, I guess at that point, if YouTube deems you, that's one way of looking at it. If the YouTube deems you worthy enough to be like, okay, yeah, no, you're bringing in enough streams that we can start paying you out to continue to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing, you could consider that to be like at a specific level. Now, professional at what? Like, you know, uh, I mean, I can't say that because I don't have that many subscribers. I appreciate all my subscribers, I really do, but like, I'm not getting paid for any of that stuff, and I don't think that check mark is even checked on my analytics page or whatever, the dashboard page. I think I've turned it off. I want people to come to my channel. I don't even know if you guys see ads when you click on my videos. I'd prefer you didn't. I'd rather that experience to give to the people than regardless of how many subscribers I have. Just because I also understand that you're not making money off slot cars. Like, it's just not happening. If ever I could get to the point where you know it's paying for a slot car um, a
yeah,
month,
what you're
that'd be
trying to
great.
say,
But
you're never getting enough to make a living out of doing
no,
slot cars.
never. Yeah, that's what I mean. I
You
mean,
get paid for slot cars. Everyone gets like once you get monetized, you have your you get your basics. But
I don't
then
even know about that.
like for me, I chose this really just to experiment with videography. I mean, that's the bottom line for myself, right? I didn't come in expecting to make money from reviewing slot cars. I came in this to learn how to shoot, learn how to video, and that's been my calling ever since I came into YouTube, right?
Hmm.
I didn't come here to do anything else. So, um, but anyway, I just wanted to, I think you're allowed to be, uh, have an opinion about a manufacturer, I think, and it doesn't belittle. You cannot belittle what anyone says about a manufacturer just because you love it or you stand by it. I think everyone has frustration levels. I mean, people have frustration levels with Carrera, with their tires and everything else. You take it. Like, you're either a Carrera fanboy or not, you're a Riva Star fanboy or not. It's just the way it is, right? Everyone has
Hmm.
brands. It's just like Coke and Pepsi, right? Some people like Coke, some people like Pepsi. You can't force them. You can't prove, you can't say one is better than the other to either one of them because they each have their own, um, you know, way of looking at things. So I think it's the same thing with any brand, any hobby. It's just like paints. Some people will say Army paint is not good as Citadel. Citadel's, it's the same thing. Every hobby has its ins and outs, you know, disagreements. But I don't know. It doesn't make you less of a hobbyist if you have a disagreement. I don't think so.
All right.
That's just my point.
Let's get to the segment of the show where now we compare because I see you painting there. So I want to see your skill versus my skill. Let's go. Round
Mine's
one.
different. Mine is all flat stuff. Cause you didn't let me go and prime my model. So
Yeah, you can go now. I'm here. You can
can I
go.
go prime my model now?
Go Prime. Go. I give you the permission. Go.
Yeah. Let me just finish up
Nobody
this.
nobody wants to hear me talk though, but it's okay. I mean, I think I'm painting within the lines. I mean, I think it's okay. I'm worried that I'm not putting enough
You
on
know
there.
the The more detail you try and be, the more you get stressed out. The way I do it is paint can always be reversed. You can always reverse your paint, so don't worry too much and just paint. Right.
Dude, all I know about
Actually,
this
you learn
hobby,
more from your mistakes than you do from getting everything perfect. Right.
yeah, 100%. Just like I don't know. I mean, the paints kind of do their job for you. A lot of it. A lot of the times, like I don't know, you finish something and you're like, oh, this was like this and this was like that, and then you're like, oh, that actually looks pretty good. Like I'm looking at the models I painted here, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot how to me, anyways, how good they looked. Except for my first one that I thought was really good, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of crap. It's kind of really crap.
Well, it's just like paint. Paint technology has changed and improved so much. The paints that I started with in 2005 are nowhere next to the paint levels today. Just because paint has evolved too. Everything evolves. You know,
See, and
it,
that's mind blowing to me. I'm like, what's paint? It's just it's pigments put together under a water or base, and then you're telling me
yeah,
that there's
but now
technology
they
behind
make
it.
pigments out of mica. They make pigments out of actual metal flakes. They do different pigmentations. So, and everybody has a different pigment that they like. It's so weird. It gets, like I said, even paint can get very technical if you really want to break it down. Um, but then that's why paint review channels exist. You know, uh, there's so many brands of paint, right? Otherwise, everyone would just use the same brand, Vallejo, or they might use the same, Citadel, or. But everyone aspires to different paints because of the different formulations and pigmentations of paint. Not all
Well,
paints are the same.
how many paint companies are there? There's Citadel and there's Army Painter. Who else is there? I don't know
Oh
anybody else.
my God, there's so many. There's AK-47. There is Vallejo. There is
Oh, Vallejo,
Citadel.
yeah.
There is Army Painter. There is Scale 75. There's so many brands. If I mentioned so many, if I went through all the paint brands, you'd be surprised. There's a ton of different paint brands.
I'm surprised with just what you mentioned there, bro.
Yeah, right now Army Painter has just come out with this brand new formulation called the Fanatic range, and it's mica based. It's the first paint that's come out mica based, and it's super smooth, super heavy on coverage. I'm just gonna spray this. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, I'm alone again. Okay.
Only 2 seconds. Relax.
Yeah, 2 seconds. Relax. No, you keep telling me to relax. I'm relaxed. Here, I'll take this time to. So this is the trees I was talking about. Again, he didn't. My camera's reversed. So I mean, it looks okay. I mean, it's nothing crazy. Pop it down anywhere, move it around, very easy. All super glued. You can definitely do a better job at this. Add some more dirt and whatever more detail. Uh, super glue is not a great idea because it kind of dries white, but whatever. You can cover that up. Does that work? Yeah. So a little, yeah. Thing that looks like fuzzy, whatever. I don't have to explain that to you guys. And this is my horrible bush that I need to experimented with and I need to cut. But you can just like place this anywhere. It's pretty. It's all right. This is my version of a werewolf for a game called Zombicide, and I did a black and white theme. It looks like it even looks worse on the in the camera, but like the detail of the rib cage and the gray and this was my first big model that I ever did, and I got like some shiny blood for the mouth. I'm sorry it's not focusing, guys. I'm not good at this. Apologies. The light in here is horrible. But the stuff I'm most proud about is this game called Pantheon, where you play as Greek gods, and I painted this stuff with
There you go.
there we go. Thanks, man. Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's a beautiful model.
yeah. Like this is just dry
Is
brushed
that
on
from
black.
the board game? The
Yeah,
one
it's
with the
from
Greek gods?
yeah, exactly Pantheon.
Yeah.
Pandora's Box, and I played this game with my cousin. A really good all-in system battle. So I decided I kind of copied this idea off my cousin because he did it like
You should
I
bring
checked.
that. I'll paint it for you.
It's painted.
Nah, you should bring that. I'll paint it for you.
No, no, no. I like all the
Do you
gods are
want
in
it
gold.
bronze looking? That was just a statue.
No, yeah. So that's gold. I don't know if the thing. And then the little The army guys are in copper. I took copper, which is supposed to be the bronze, because copper was a bit brighter, so it
Yeah.
just looks like metal. And I based it black, and then I just dry brushed these guys, and they came out so awesome. I mean, when you're playing, I'm doing it because for the games, and then the games that you play that you're staring at them. This is Zeus, um, not Zeus, sorry, Hercules, and
You should paint them properly so they actually look like Hercules.
the heroes are in silver, the gods are in gold, and the armies are in copper or bronze, and then the beasts are in. This one took me a while in green, but I actually put a silver base under here, metallic silver base under here to make it shiny because I found that the green wasn't uh, as nice metal looking, so I tricked it. I dry brushed this all silver and then put the green wash on it, and they all came out like that. When you're staring at a board game for like over an hour, plastic like dulls the eyes, and you want to look at something at least half decent. So at least I got a color scheme going on, and that's the only reason why I paint my minis. I only paint the minis that like I got to stare at for a bit, and dry brushing was the easiest way to do that without having to spend hours and hours, um, you know, sitting there painting. Which I enjoy painting, but it does take up a lot of time, and I'd rather be playing than painting. And I'm an impatient person, so now with these contrast paints, if I can do layering and colors without having to do too much detail, then I'm willing to do that. And this is what I'm. This is the reason why I'm testing this out, especially on an expansion that I hardly play. But so if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all I got, guys. And please use that as what not to do, and you know, push yourself a little more if you actually are, if anyone is interested in painting, because it is really fun and calming. And you know, that's my 2 cents. I'm done.
Your 2 cents and you're done.
I'm
Uh,
done. You're back.
I'm back.
Did you finish painting already?
What?
You finished spray painting already?
Yeah. Mm, yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
It took
So
me like
now
it took me like 10 shots for these guys. I spread them all out. I'm on the floor. I'm like up and down. I'm like, okay, what angles? I come back the next day. I'm like, oh, I missed the gray underneath. I'm like hitting them from underneath, and I'm like, okay. My wife's like, are you out of the garage yet? I'm like, it's only been an hour. I obsess over too many things.
all right.
That's my problem.
So I'm gonna paint my tentacle now.
You're not gonna wait till it dries?
It's dry.
What?
You're probably overspraying your models.
No, it's also it's -20 over here. That's not.
I just sprayed it. I told you I sprayed inside because those paints have no odor.
I'm inside, but I'm in my garage, and my garage is connected to
I'm talking
outdoors.
about in my
You
basement right here. I just sprayed.
guys want to see the snow? Hold on. I don't know if I
I
can do
have
this.
snow too. It snowed all.
You don't got snow. You live in Canada land. You ain't got no snow. Okay, sorry for the messy garage, but I don't know if you can see. Well, okay, well it's too much light, but it's completely white outside. I
I
can't
see.
bring it. Okay, I'm not taking a chance. I'm
All
not
right.
taking a chance. Oh man.
Those plastic computer. He wants to know if they're plastic computer models.
Um, what I just showed you the Greek stuff?
Yeah, they're all
No,
plastic.
those are plastic.
Yeah.
Those are plastic. That's why I'm really proud of this. They look like pewter, but I painted this. Sorry. This, guys, Raul. First of all, it's hard to fix this mirroring.
Here, let me do
I got
this.
it. I got it. I think I got it.
Okay.
So that's no, that's just painted. That was Achilles. Um, the paint is here. It's it's the dry paint from Citadel. So it's Necron compound, which is a super thick compound. It's not even liquid. It's like a clay almost. It's like a
Oh no, that's a technical paint. That's meant for basing.
Well, that's it. It's a dry. It's a Citadel dry, and
Uh-huh.
then and I have that in silver. I have it in copper, I believe, and gold. And that's what I used. And but what makes them really pop out and make them look like metal is because I primed them black, a flat black.
Yes.
So when you do a dry brush technique, um, which is basically taking, oh, look at me talking technical, which is basically taking a brush that you're not going to use anymore because it's going to get destroyed. You dip it and you take off as much as you can, which is counterintuitive, but you got to dip it and then take off as much as you can, and you just like brush the whole model. And what it'll do is it'll catch all the edges and make all your edges pop, so it looks like the shading. It's and all the black makes it look like the shading. So and because that's such a dry paint, it's clumpy. It spreads hard, so the black really seeps through. As it dries out, it shrinks, so you get like the in and out. And I found that it gave that type of look, um, to make it look like pewter, except for the green, which I had to put silver, and then with a light color wash, meaning a very light paint, watery paint, just painted the silver. So I got that metallic look out of the green guys. Not all of them came out that way, but majority of it.
I see.
So the short answer was yeah, it's plastic. Sorry, I just rambled.
No, no. You,
Um,
you
did I use
understand
copper?
them all.
Yeah, I think I used copper for the bronze because I found that yeah, hash nut copper. I find it was shinier because the bronze was too brown, and that was the difference between the models I saw when my cousin did them. He actually used copper, and I found that he actually used bronze, which I found was too dark of a brown, and I found the copper really made them pop a little bit more. And yes, and that's how I did it. Now, but guys, I'm going to show you a beautiful painting by my wife. She popped in and she wanted me to show you guys and just to show off her art skills. She did this at an art class.
Yeah.
Okay, don't ask me for price. It's not for sale. Okay, let's just back off already. I can tell. Look at this.
Ah, very beautiful.
It's awesome. No, it's not for sale. It's sentimental. She was laughing her head off when she popped in. She's like, "Here, show them this." Oh man, freehand art is not for me. Freehand art is not for me, my friend. Oh
It is.
man, almost done, bro. This is awesome. Almost done. 10:30. I'm good to keep going. If I mean,
I'm okay. Look
yeah,
at
I got to go to the mall though eventually because I got to buy a tie for tomorrow and tonight. I got my. I can't say it's a surprise birthday party for somebody, so I can't really say online. I doubt they're watching. I highly doubt, but
you never know.
oh, that's it. And then I'm baptizing my brother's kid, my nephew, on Sunday, and we're honored to be part of that. And that's it, man. What do you got going on this weekend?
Um, not in March. I have to do race some cars tonight. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have no idea. Got prep for that live stream later.
Oh,
And
let me ask you something. Slot car related, obviously. Those Mercedes, the GT3s,
be more
the
specific.
AMG GT3s, the ones that just came out,
The
the
yeah,
pink livery and the
yeah.
okay. So the model before that, the Evo, that's the same car, but just a different, just a redesign.
Yeah, I think that's the front end is a little bit different. Not too
Yeah.
sure.
See, so this is where my OCD kicks in because it's like, okay, I want to pair that car. I have the Carrera, um, right, the one that came with the Mercedes GT. Excuse me, the Mercedes GT3 came with the Lap to Victory set, and it's in the Carrera livery, but it's
Yeah,
got the smaller. I mean, it's a big grill, but it's got the smaller. It's smaller in the front. It's not the nice rounder look, the nice front teeth grill I call it.
yeah.
Um, is there another Carrera GT3 Evo like the previous models, or was that the only one that they came out with in that livery?
No, there's a
Not
whole.
that livery, but that mold.
No, there's a bunch of them.
Because this is how my OCD works. If I'm going to buy a pair of the car, I know it was just a redesign, but I kind of want the same design on the track. Like that's how mental my brain works. So I couldn't find any of the older um, of that design. I don't know what they are. Why don't you raise those tonight,
Okay.
strictly for my benefit?
Strictly for your benefit.
Yeah,
So this AMG GT3s.
yeah, but not the new ones, the old ones.
Well, I don't think I have that many of the old ones. I have to double check.
Oh, you said you were a collector. What do you? You're so go buy them. Let's go.
Oh, thanks,
Let's get
bro.
spot, baby.
Yeah, you keep on.
You talk a big game, but I bring up one car.
Oh,
Oh, I don't have that one. Oh, well, look at that. Look at that.
whoa, whoa,
Would you
whoa.
look at that?
I see how it's become. Okay, no problems, no problems. Yeah,
I'm
get it
kidding.
done.
Don't buy Slotcars because of me. That's a joke. But I
Yeah,
am disappointed that you don't have them.
they don't have what now?
The the old design of the AMG GT3 Evo. Like,
I
what's the
do.
Evo? Why is it called Evo?
I don't know. Do you have to check with AMGs? I'm not an AMG aficionado here.
Raul,
What?
Raul. Nothing, man. I'm just busting.
I know. Busting my
You
chops here. How's your painting going, by the way?
want to compare?
Well, I just started mine.
Yeah, I know, and I'm sure you're leagues ahead. I
You've
think
been
I'm not putting enough. Honestly, I don't think I'm putting enough. I'm being too
in an
gentle with it.
hour into yours. I want to know what yours look like.
Okay, well, you've got me focused here. I mean, I've
Yeah,
got I got two more spikes to do, and then I'm done the purple. With respect to the face, I'm gonna wait to do the face until I feel more confident. But I mean, it's hard to tell.
yeah.
Looks like garbage. Looks like garbage.
I can't see that at all.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Slide is no bueno. Here, this one's darker. I think I gotta do it. I definitely have to do a second coat.
Yeah. Oh, I can't tell there. It's very difficult with the light.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. This is weird.
No problems.
What if I? No, that's not plugged in. But I mean, they look better than gray. I mean, it looks
Yeah.
better than gray. And now I'm adding even more.
At least you slayed the gray, as they say. So
Yeah, like see, this one's drawing nice and dark. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm not putting enough on these guys. I'm not being liberal.
you're not
But I
being
got two
liberal
more.
enough.
It's hard to talk and paint at the same time. I'm not at your level. Show me your stuff.
1 second.
1 second. Let me just dot the i's and get the hair just right.
Well, I just started. Like it's unfair. You gotta give me a
Unfair.
couple of minutes. Like let me put at
No, I
least
think
my
what was
base
fair is that I got
colors
an
down.
hour head start, and I bet anything you're doing right now is like leagues ahead. I'm telling you.
At least let me get my base colors down, then you can tear it apart.
Tear
I
it
don't even
apart.
know what I'm doing. I don't even know this model really well, so I'm just going with the flow here.
What do you mean? Do you study your models before you paint them?
Of course,
What does that mean?
because I don't know the model. Like I'm just going off the whim here. Like the paint selection, your greens and blues and pinks. So it's not the color choice that I would go with, but I'm trying to flow with it and just go with it. So give me a second. I'll be right there with you.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm afraid of. In 1 second, you'll be caught up to the hour head start I got.
So I'm trying. We'll
what
see.
what color would you color a kraken? I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know Krakens. I actually like the way I do it, and I think the way Boone does it, and a lot of people is we look at real life applications, and we look at them, and then we take them and exaggerate them, right? That way we have something to base it off. Like for me,
Well,
this is a crustacean, right? So um, I probably had done it, you know, yeah,
I mean, a kraken
oranges.
is like an
That's
oversized octopus with like
exactly.
monster face.
So an octopus is probably whites and pinks, right? Like it's very flesh-like, right?
Yeah, but a kraken is a mythical creature.
But
So,
exactly, so it doesn't really matter. That's why with these tentacles, I'm just going bananas. I'm
well,
using
now
the.
you're making me double guess my choices of
Don't
colors.
double guess anything. There's nothing to guess here. This is pretty much have fun and do some painting. That's it.
It has to be perfect.
Has to be perfect. Now you want to be perfect, no?
No, never. I can never be perfect. No, because then when you're perfect at something, or when people think you're perfect at something, then they they bust your chops about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Like kind of like how I bust your chops about stuff, because I
What's busting
expect a certain
myself?
level from you.
Yeah.
You had no idea when you met me that I'd be this obnoxious, eh? You had no idea.
You wait till you come over here.
Bro, I'm gonna tear up your track, bro. I'm gonna tear it up. I'm gonna show you how
Sure.
to race.
I want to see. I've been watching you and your wife race, so I know all your tricks. I'm well
There's
aware.
Raul at night replaying the video.
I'm well aware about what you bring to the table. So don't worry.
Yeah,
I'm aware.
I'm
It's
just
gonna be fun.
like honestly, like all joking aside, I'm really stoked because coming into the hobby, it's hard for beginners to I just wanted to race on the track before I spent the money to be like, is this actually fun, or am I going to pick up that controller and be like, okay, I'm not really getting much excitement out of this. Like, this is not. So that was my biggest worry, right? Like, because my only experiences were the Tyco set that I had as a kid, which was fun for about 10-20 minutes, and then I put it away, and that was it. That was done, and that's it. But like with the digital, like even without the digital, we went to Panther Hobbies, and they had that track in the back, and for whatever reason, the cars just um weren't making that bank. I think just because his batteries or his speed wasn't set
Also,
high
that
enough.
track hasn't been cleaned in a long time.
There's that. There's that.
So that
They
that
don't.
the track back at Panthers track is not very clean. So the cars don't grip really well.
But at the time, I didn't realize that there was a speed setting because I mean, what was his name? He was there just telling me just go. I think it was Ray, and he was just telling me just go, like punch it harder, or else you won't make the curve. And I'm like, well, I've got it all the way down the trigger. I don't understand. Now I know. Hey, the speed's got to go up. So he's probably thinking, whatnot. And it's a shame because they have so much space in the back that they could have both. They could have their trains and set up a club. You know, I would drive down to hang out with those guys and have that club in the back if they just like put a because their shop is really nice for a hobby shop.
Yeah, the Panther. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
they
train
maintain it
stuff
well.
is really good. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Very
I mean,
different.
they have a whole section just of used track.
Yeah,
It's a whole room just of used track, and it's like, you know, really awesome. So yeah, so like, I'm excited. Sidetrack there, because now I get to do that. I get to experience. Um, well, if we have time to go to Massimo's, I get to experience your big track, like to actually race on something bigger than 12 feet. If we have a chance to go to the club, to Ernie's, see what
we have
that's all
to go
about.
to Ernie's. I already made that arrangement.
Perfect, perfect. And then trying the new controllers because you have both the Franken slot and the uh,
Frank's Lot, True Speed,
True
Rare
Speed. Thank you.
Digital. I have them all here.
So I'm excited to try those out to put my money where my mouth is. I'm promoting these controllers, which I know are better, but um, yet to have physically held them in my hand to give my personal opinion. And yeah, so I'm excited about that. Like that's really um, it's going to be such an and to be introduced to analog racing and magless racing.
Yeah,
So this is something that it's hard for people without having to buy everything all at once and diving into the hobby if you don't have a club next to you or someone with a track that you can easily have access to. it's difficult. You know, it's difficult. So it's hard also to swallow other people's opinions, and not to dwell on it. But I mean, if you're telling me Kennedy is saying, uh, you know, you have no business. You can tell it irks me. You have no business buying Revo slot if you don't want to tune something. It's like, well, then how are you going to learn?
No, but that's not
You know?
what he's saying. He's like, you have to understand that you have to get into a system. So if you're not ready to get into the system, don't buy the Reaver slot, right? But my
Yeah,
counter to
no, that
that
makes
is,
sense.
and the people that are selling the Reaver slots at the stores or something should let you know that this is a system. It's different, you
Hmm.
know? Because as a newbie, when you go buy anything online, and most of us are buying online, right? Let's be honest, right? How many of us have the luxury of a Slotcar store next to us to go buy, right? Then there should be some sort of communication that says, hey, just to let you know, this is not your ordinary stock car. This actually belongs to a system, and you should be aware of that prior to purchase. That's all I'm
Hmm.
saying. I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I mean, he's
Oh no, no,
totally
no. I'm
on
just,
point with that because,
yeah, I can't really say I wasn't. I didn't watch that pod, so I don't want to
yeah, it's
overstep
just
my.
part of it's his editorial from his last news news thing. Um, you know,
Do we have comments in the chat? Do we not check on that because I can't see? So
anything below 30-meter lane length is a home track. Just kidding. 30 meters, man. 30 meters, is a lot of track. Nico. Uh, your wife wants us to live stream our first race together. You're 100%. I'm gonna live stream that.
okay.
Yeah, you got put on the spot, not by me.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do it, and are we gonna do it on your on the Saturday night?
I can do it anytime. My live streams can go up anytime. I have no set like days and stuff. I don't treat YouTube like a job. It's like I just treat it like whenever I have time and I want to do it. That's why you ask me, oh, let's do a live stream. I'll just jump on and do a live stream. It doesn't bother me. Because it's not my job. I'm just trying to do it for fun, right?
Well, that's part of the creative part, right? You were talking about being creative and the art of it. I think I encourage anybody to do YouTube videos because that's art in itself, and just talking and the art of talking and explaining and sharing is such a good vibe and such a good you know I don't know explain it. It's just it's creative, and being creative and sharing creativity can inspire anybody. So I'm a big advocate of that. I'm like, good for you guys. I'm not saying, so that's you know
Yeah, Nico, my
one of
track
my
is only 20 meters, 20 point something meters. So I don't fall under any club track. Sorry. Nico says you have to be over like 30 meters to fall on the club track level.
I'm not 30 meters at all. I'm 100 and 1166 centimeters, which is roughly just under, I think it's 38 feet. But I'm working on my next track and my next build. As soon as we're done time spotting these cars, and that's it. Oh, that's what I want to ask you too, because you're pretty familiar with Smart Race. Let's get into Smart Race for a second.
Yeah.
Um, what? Because I just picked up the Champions package, whatever. I said, for whatever for the $40, I went all in instead of buying the pieces. Um, what for the gas? What
Yeah.
is the rule of thumb for the usage? Like what do you have your gas set at for the like the sorry, focus, Joe. The timing for the track. Are you using your average time for your cars? Do you set that? Because I'm a little confused as to when the computer will use more or less fuel. Can you explain that to me?
Very technical. I have no answer for that.
All right, you've heard it
I
here first.
I just set the fuel and I let it go. And different cars seem to consume fuel in a different way. So that I don't
Yeah,
know.
because how I understand it is that it goes by you have to set the minimum. They're like, what is the average speed, and then if you have a faster car, so if you set it at like my track is 4.5 seconds is slow and 3.8 is fast. So if I do 3.5, anything above that, cars that are going faster than that will burn fuel faster, and cars that are slower will burn fuel slower, which actually makes sense. It makes it more realistic to each individual car.
Okay.
So in my head, that makes sense. Now that doesn't make an equal playing field for everybody, but at the same time, it kind of does because if you're racing a slower car, you're gonna have to fill up less. So I find that, and when I started understanding that or starting to fall into it to think, well, I think I have a handle on it to what that actually means. I think that's where the fuel, because I never understood. I'm like, well, why are you doing it off time lapse versus the trigger press? If you're pressing harder on the trigger, you should be burning more fuel. But also, when you crash, if your lap took longer, then clearly if your lap took longer, then clearly you're using less fuel, which I like. That's more realistic about it. But if you're the set minimum, I just wanted to confirm if I was correct or not. So if I set my
So here
right.
you go. Lighttech says I use real fuel simulation on CU and then make everyone's car fuel full and let Smart Race do the rest. And that's exactly what I do as well.
Yeah, but SmartRay says that
CU,
if you want to use their system, the fuel has to be set to off.
I don't know, seems to work on ours.
Yeah, because if you put it in the realistic, it does. But now it's like the app says you have to keep the fuel has to be set to off, so you're only using the app's fuel system.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then
very like we don't really race like you've seen so far. Like my guys won't even race with fuel right now. That's not comfortable enough.
yeah,
So we don't really race too much with that stuff, right?
yeah, I'm just going there because Jen and I are getting to that level where it's like, okay, now we're gonna race with
Well,
Ghost Car.
when
Now
we
we're gonna,
come down here, we'll test it out and check it out together.
okay.
Figure it
All right,
out.
well that's kind of what I'm doing now and seeing, but it made sense to me. You set it to, so if your average speed, you know, is between so many seconds and so many seconds, you take the average, set that as your, once you're hitting that guy, that's your 40%, right? Let's say you set it at every lap is 40% fuel. So you're hitting your 40%. However, if you go over that, if you're faster than 3.5 seconds or
Sometimes
whatever.
racing is also setting it as real fuel as well. Yeah, that's the way I set it. So I guess um
Yeah, on the CU, you set it to real fuel, but the Smart Race app specifically tells you it has to be set to off, or you can't use the Smart Race system. So I think you're not getting the true value of the that add-on specifically. I'll test it out. I'll test it out. I'll just
yeah, I'm gonna test out more. I don't know.
yeah.
That's not something that I really paid much attention to at the moment.
Well,
But
that's it. I want to dive into every aspect of the digital, and I think Smart Race at the moment is giving consumers and racers the best experience, and I just want to be able to profit off it. Uh, you know, at that point, and I want to try the pit thing and the connect. I think I'm done my purple, bro. I
are you?
think I'm done my purple for now. Just adding a second coat because it's drying up.
Okay. Let me
That's it.
let's see what you got and then
You've got like three colors already happening there, man. What's going on?
what?
How many colors you got on your tentacle?
5, 6.
I'm like trying to paint in between the lines. Like, don't spill. This guy's got three colors going on.
Here, let me show you what I
Show
got.
me.
So
Thank you. That's what I'm waiting for.
let's go here. Let's go here. All right. So here's my tentacle. It's kind of wet still, but see.
That looks so awesome.
So these are all base colors. I haven't really done anything, just base colored everything. So I got The outside shell here is this contrast aromatic blue.
Nice.
Then this is like a gray. So this is, yeah, what is it? I put it back. The black. I use the black speed paint black. Speed paints are like contrast paints, but they're the armor painter version of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So I use like a gray here. Then I used the tentacle, the familiar pink, and I mixed it with blood red at the bottom. So it's blood red down here, and then it goes to tentacle pink, just for some contrast. And then the
This guy's blending on the fly.
the teeth are all pallid bone. It's nothing is clean right now. This is like my base
No,
coats.
no, that's it. You're doing the base coats, whereas I'm
This is
lazy man. I'm like,
pallid
this is
bone is all of this. And then because pallid bone was so light, I used a little bit of desolate brown just to make the bottom edges darker. I just dropped in a little bit of brown there, and I used the desolate brown in the base here. That's it. And it took me all of what, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, 20 minutes. And I painted the Dunlop stuff, and I'm just finishing this off.
What's this?
Yeah.
I'm just like on the first color of. I mean, I am painting all the. I mean, if I did all one, two, three, maybe, but I am doing everything all as a set, right? Like do all the purple, then do all the
Your batch painting.
batch painting. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I
like,
decided not to up my laziness and be not so lazy and actually triple color things.
well, this is how I do it. Like, I do this and not dry brush this whole thing, and then repeat the process again with the colors, so I get nice solid colors.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's where you're more on the professional end because you're taking the time to add the detail, add the um.
yeah, because this is so rough right now. This is just me getting an understanding of colors and how they match up, and then I'll go in and start blending them in, and then yeah. But I start with a dry brush now. I'll show you. I just get my white.
Show the good people how the dry brush works, my friend.
Yeah, no problems.
Don't forget to put heavy metal music though when you dry brush, because that heavy metal music and dry brushing go hand in hand. I find. And I'm alone again. Alone again. This like, man, this light really sucks. I'm just adding the second coat on the purple, the boring purple, but it's coming in nice. Like it's the contrast. I really see the appeal to it to do the fast painting part, and I just want a thicker. Want to make it look more skinny, if skin, not skinny, but more like flesh or outer octopus.
Bro is
Uh,
showing off.
skeleton. What?
This is not showing off. If I showed this to some of my other painters, they would laugh at me. What are you doing, bro?
Bro, I don't think there's. I mean, who else is painting in the hobby? Who does models? It's in this hobby.
I'm not in this. Oh, Tara. There's lots of people that paint. There's lots of people that specialize in painting, right?
No, no, no. But I'm talking about us in the hobby, like our guys.
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I don't really know. I can't answer that question.
Okay.
All right.
Not to answer the question.
Yeah.
But this has been my biggest issue at all times is when it starts drying out and thinning out. Then it's like, okay, then I got to go over all the dry stuff. And that's what's fun about this. As it dries and you do your second coat, you can see where the paint is actually shrinking. And then
You guys want to see dry brushing? I've done dry brushing so many times. So I got some white paint here. So I put it, and then I use a little paper towel and just rub off the paint. And I test it on the back of my hand here just to see what's catching. So it's just catching the edges, and then it's ready for dry brushing. And then You just start slowly, and you try not to make a mess. And this paint's all wet, so this is not gonna help me much. All right, we'll switch
I
off
don't know. I think this is good.
all of us. What's good?
Oh, my purple. I think I'm G to G. Good to go. I got 5 minutes here before I gotta start my day.
Yeah.
I mean, with the fam, daughter's over, and gotta prepare. I mean, I could do this all day, but I'm surprised my wife's not knocking on the door already. That's even if the kids are up. I don't even know if the kids are up. Does your daughter sleep in a lot, or is she an early riser?
My daughter is asleep right now.
There
But
you go.
that's because I took her to the gym and we worked out a lot. And then we played badminton last night, so
There
she's
you go.
tired. So probably catching up some Z's, as it were.
What did I think my daughter's boyfriend last night he said something that made me laugh. He's like, I just want to. It was like 10 o'clock and we just finished a movie, and he's like, I'm just gonna take a nap before we go to bed. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, wait, what? What? Oh my god. Are you into the sci-fi stuff? Like you like Star Wars and Dune and all that stuff? No?
Yeah,
Yeah. Did you see the new Dune?
of course.
Okay, I didn't see it yet. So.
I have my track. Here you go. Dan says he need to redesign my track to add 4 by 8 feet of room. The Carrera track.
Yeah.
There's Autobahn Planner they can use. There's the free one, which is the I think Marty did a live stream on a free app where you can do your track planning as well. I forget the name of it. Softy Bomb Planner.
That's what I use. I use the softy, and there's only one glitch with that program that
Yeah,
I've come into problems with, but other than that, it works great. It works great. It's all in German though, but you can figure it out pretty easy. It's not Spotify. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So those are the things that I know off. Not too sure if that'll help, but that's what I know.
And that's it, guys. I mean, I think
You're good to
I'm
go.
DUN done, bruh.
Done.
I apologize for the lagginess in the beginning of the stream. Apologize for the bad lighting in my garage, but it is what it is.
Lots of apologies. Yeah.
And I have to step away because, I mean, I got to work up to this, right? It's like Chopin. He made the pianist. He made a bunch of pieces to work. Was it Chopin or was it? Anyways,
Now you
he made a
become
bunch of pieces to practice to the final piece of piano playing. And this is what I got to do. I got to make all the small tentacles. I got to work that and practice that before I do the final headpiece. And dude, this was very informative and fun, and I appreciate you
Hey,
taking
let's
the time.
see. Let's do a final of what you've done so far. Let's go here. Show. No. Wrong. Here you go. Show off what you got so far.
Oh no! I just spilled paint all over.
Oh God. You know, there's a reason you cap the bottles.
I know. I did cap the bottle. Oh man, come on. Whatever.
All right. Look at that. He didn't touch the main centerpiece though.
No, like I said, I got to work up to that. So
You're
I'm trying to
still
cover the
doing
light on the.
that.
This is so bad. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
That's it. Man. And
So
is it all of it? Most of it. Well, back to the store I go.
this is me. See, this is where I'm at. So
That's
that's it.
very underwater looking, bro. That's some cool color schemes.
Yeah. So now it's dry brush. You can see all the white on the upper, and then it's got So now when I go over with the paint, you'll really get highlights and shadows. I might
If
put a wash on this first, though. That's
you would do a
another
wash
thing.
first.
Yeah, I'll do a wash first, and then I'll probably go in with the. So I get all my recesses nice and dark, and then I'll go in with the colors once more, and it will be pop. Everything will pop.
We should do a part 2
Yeah.
of this theme here, because now I got to go buy more. I probably have enough for this guy, but man, that was such a dummy. Come on, Joe. Whatever. It'll add color to my desk. Yeah. So if you guys haven't already and you're interested, you can join us on the Discord. Slot Yard. That is on my bio. Unless Raul wants to post it if he wants. I leave that up to you. The invite, you can go on my bio or show me Slotcars bio. There's the invite to the Discord if you guys want to join us there. Dan, I will be on Dan's live stream tomorrow night where he will be asking me, I guess, a series of questions, which will be funny. I'm looking forward to that. I got a video with Slot R coming out on Beyond the Slot. What else, Raul? What do you got coming up? You got your Saturday night stream tonight?
Yeah. I mean, I don't. What color wash are you going to use for that roll? I'm probably gonna go with the. Let's see. Probably go with a kind of Griffin sepia or something. Let me see. I might as well bring the wash and do it.
Of course, it's like classic me, you know. Guys, I really appreciate everyone tuning in, hanging out with us. We will be Saturday morning cartoons will be back on the 30th. Saturday the 30th. I believe we're having a special guest, which is Pete's dad. So whether he knows it or not, I've got a bunch of questions for him for that kind of stuff. I think we're going to be talking about Arduino and how he programmed all his track. That's going to be interesting. I love that I get to learn through the community. And again, I'm really appreciative that Raul, you took the time to do this with me. And yeah, I'll do my best, and we'll see how this turns out. But I got to hit the road. So bye. See you
Bye.
guys later. Raul, if you want to stand, I mean, you do what you want.
I'm
Just
just
stream.
gonna do the Griffin wash because
Yeah,
you
go
asked
for
me
it.
to have a Nolan oil and I have a Griffin Agrash Earthshade. I
I
might
got the
just
same ones.
huh?
I got the same ones.
Yeah, these are great washes. Just wash in, see what it looks like. So
Okay, I can't watch. My wife's gonna kill me. All right.
uh,
Thank you guys again. I'm heading out. Have a great weekend. See you
see you,
later.
buddy. Have a
Ciao,
good
ciao.
time.
Thanks, man.
I'm just gonna switch to this then. Joe has left the building, and he got me going. So now I gotta kind of finish this off and chill out, hang out. Painting is fun. This is the problem: is once I get started, I can't stop. So Agrax, I might mix in some Nolan oil because I want it deeper. Go in here. The only problem with washes, you have to wait for a long time for them to dry out. So once you put the wash on, it takes a while. But the washes will really get into all the shades, nooks, crannies, and you get a really nice effect with them. Can I reposition camera? Oh yeah, sure. Sorry. My mistake. My bad, my bad. There you go. Just putting in a wash. So you see how like with the dry brush now you get this kind of fleshy effect, and the wash will now highlight that and pick that up. So it gets exciting, gets fun. And for the outside, I might use a blue wash, not this one. Probably use a can see that starting to pick out all the details. So, anyway, the joys of painting, guys. I might use a Nuln oil and make it a bit deeper into those recesses down there. So grab some Nuln. Bye, Warren. Take care. Hey, Aid. Just doing some painting. I was doing it with Joe, but he's had to leave. So, but Aid would know this. Aid knows about painting miniatures. So, just getting. And for the outside, probably go Nuln oil down here, and then I'll get a blue wash for the top. I'll be back 1 second. Yeah. Looks great. Thanks a lot, Aid. This is a greenish wash. This should really darken this part. So apply it on the inner recesses. And then just water and blend it out. Uh, you know what? I could. I have a whole bunch of these. These are 3D printed tentacles. We actually use them for wargaming tables. I have a lot of terrain for wargaming that I could easily throw onto my slot car track if I wanted to make a sci-fi version. Um, but yeah, no, this is just for a wargaming table. So yeah, just an alternate world, I guess, for wargaming. But just Joe was painting tentacles, and I was trying to match him and figure out his color scheme was what this was all about. But yeah, so I got a little bit of dark stuff happening, and then the one thing you don't want is what we call coffee staining. So you just want to blend in the paint. Otherwise, you get what is called coffee stain, where the paint kind of looks like it was, not pooling too much. So we're just testing that out here. But this takes minutes. Can make it look pretty cool in minutes. And then for here, I just use a dark Nolan oil, a black shade to kind of blend that together. So I'll use the green and the black. Yeah, I know you're doing Lord of the Rings. Have you painted any of your terrain aid? Yeah, so once this dries out, it'll become much darker, and then you get all the contrast in there. But it's not that difficult to paint, guys. It's simple. I don't, and you don't need a lot of precision when it comes to like terrain and stuff. You can make it look really good, really quick. That's the whole point of contrast paints and washes and shades. They go together really well. Oh, Aid, man, you gotta show me your buildings. Just send them to me in the WhatsApp. Be kind of cool to see. Yeah, so this thing will dry out. I'm just gonna finish off this Dunlop thing here that I was doing earlier. Finish this off. Yeah, black. Gray. Black. 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 Let's just try this out. Do have some reds in here I need to finish off. Oopsie. I'm gonna finish off the black here. The Dunlop tile looks good. Thank you. This is just quick. I'm not spending too much time. The key to details is just keeping your paint thin, and you can do it multiple times. The moment you start using thick paint is when you get into trouble. So that's at least my opinion. But using thin paint, you can go over multiple times, get the depth in as you layer up. You just gotta be more patient. But thin paint will flow into gaps really easily. People ask how you do eyes. That's how I do eyes. I don't use thick paint at all to do eyes. It's so difficult. Sorry, guys. Painting on screen is difficult, especially detail work like this. So. Yeah, so that's just a layer of black right there, and I have to touch this up. These are just base coat layers, so I'll go in there and touch them all up. But this kind of gets the point across really quick. It's easy to do. This will dry out, and then we'll go from there. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got for today, I guess. We decided to paint. It was very impromptu. I appreciate all you guys being here. Did a tentacle. Made it look like fleshy. Purples, reds. Bunch of different colors. Stuff I don't really do normally. Base coated it. Dry brushed. Did some washes on it. And then if you really want, you can take it up a level by now coming in and actually painting in details and stuff, which is, really up to you. But as far as I'm concerned, that's a pretty good morning. Quick job. Anyway, thanks a lot for being here, guys. We'll catch you guys later. Hope you guys have a great day today. We'll talk to you guys later then. I will say my buys. That's not the one I want. Let's go down here. Boom. All right, that's it. I'll catch you guys later. Hope you guys have a good Saturday. Probably live stream later tonight with some car runs. I don't know what I'm going to run. Been asked to run Carrera, Mercs, GT3s. We'll see. I'll figure it out. But until next time, guys, have fun. Take care. Bye.